Good morning, everybody. We're continuing our series on doubles around the table, and this week is session number 2, and that means it's the double used by responders turn, or the negative double. If any of you are as old as I am, and I had a birthday this week, so I'm feeling particularly old, then you remember the days of Sputnik. I was in grade school when Sputnik was launched, and I remember the great uproar that was caused. And at that time, there was a double developed by the Roth-Stone pair. They called it Sputnik because that was the word that was on everybody's mind and lips at that time. But the name fell out of favor as time marched on and technologies got better. So now we just call it the negative double. The negative double is a takeout double, just like the takeout double used by the person sitting in the direct seat. But this is a form of a takeout double that is used by the responder or opener's partner. Obviously, partner has to have opened, and there has to have been a bid next. If any of you have ever had your partner double you without an intervening bid, you know that you are banned from the bidding for the remainder of the round. That's happened to me more than once when my partner doubled my bid. That is not a legal call. So remember, if you're going to use a negative double, there has to have been an opening bid and a bid by the person sitting in the direct seat. It needs to be a suit bid. Conventional wisdom says that if there's a one no trump overcall, double by the responder is for penalty. There are a few people who may use it as a negative double, but I've never been quite sure what that shows. I've never been able to find an explanation that really satisfied me. So most people would consider one anything, one no trump, double, the double to be for penalty. So if you want to use a negative double, it's a suit bid, double. Now, that's not to say that you and your partner can't use the double by responder following a no trump overcall as negative if you want to do so. If it makes sense to you and you're comfortable with it, do it. Now, just like when you're responding, it promises 6 points. You need the same number of points that you do to respond. So now, depending on how the auction goes, it shows unbid suits. If there has been a major suit bid, then the double shows 4 cards in the unbid major. If both majors are unbid, if the auction goes 1 club, 1 diamond, double, this is a special situation that promises 4 cards in each major suit. If you don't have 4 cards in both major suits in this bidding situation, bid the one you have. It does not promise 5 cards in that major because double in that auction shows 4 cards in each major. So if you bid, if it goes club, diamond, heart, you're promising at least 4 hearts and denying 4 spades when you do that. Now then, following an opposing 2-level overcall, for instance, 1 heart, 2 clubs, double by the responder promises 4 cards in only 1 of the major suits. This is the second special situation with negative doubles. I played negative doubles for probably 5 years before somebody pointed that out to me. I thought I always had to have both majors when I used the negative double. That was not true. Ron Hinkie straightened me out on that one day. I only have to have 1 of them. When I only promise 1 of them, that means that my partner and I may not match. So what happens if we don't match? Well, we've either got to be able to play 2 no trump or 3 of opener's minor if he opened a minor. That means that I need to have 10 points because my partner can have as few as 12. If we're going to play 2 no trump or play at the 3 level, we have to have invitational level points between us, and that's about 23. Sometimes you can make 3 on fewer points than that, but this assumes normal distribution and placement of the honors. So these are the 2 special situations. Now, to illustrate, here's some examples. Your partner opens a diamond and your right-hand opponent overcalls 1 spade. Well, until your very rude opponent bid a spade, you were planning to bid 1 heart, weren't you, if you hold this hand over here? Well, I have a problem. A bid at the 2 level promises 10 points. Remember, you can't respond to partner at the 2 level with fewer than 10 high card points. And remember, 2 over 1 is off when there's interference. So it's not because you're promising an opening hand. Once there's interference in the auction, 2 over 1 no longer applies. And now we go back to regular standard American rules. This promises 10 points. If I were to bid 2 hearts here, that would promise 10 points and 5 hearts. Remember, a new major suit at the 2 level promises 5 cards. So I'm short on both levels here. Well, I have 8 high card points. I have no stop in spades, and I'm thinking if my right-hand opponent has 5 spades, my partner could well have 4 hearts. What am I going to do? Well, in the days before the negative double, you were in a heap of trouble. I don't want to pass. My partner and I have at least half the points in the deck here, so I want to compete. The answer is the negative double. I have at least 6 points. I have 4 cards in an unbid major, and I also have 4 cards in the unbid minor. This is a classic negative double hand. Now, once you add negative doubles to your bidding box, you have all kinds of things you can show. Here's another example. This time, partner opens a diamond, your right-hand opponent bids a heart, and here you are. You have 8 points again. You have 4 spades this time. They're not very pretty spades, but hey, there are 4 of them. That's 4 that the opponents don't have. And if you don't use negative doubles, then you're going to bid 1 spade with that lovely suit. But you have a way to differentiate for your partner, whether you hold 4 spades or 5, when you have added the negative double to your bidding box. If you use the double here, it says, partner, I have exactly 4 spades. Do you have 4 spades with me? If notice now, this is exactly 4. And on the other hand, if partner doesn't have 4 spades and he bids clubs, you don't mind. You got pretty good clubs here. So it doesn't matter which one of your suits he picks, you're perfectly fine with that. But this is a really good way to locate a 4-4 spade fit. Now, there's obviously a problem here and there with all kinds of conventions, and the negative double is no exception. The rule actually is, rather than 4 cards in both unbid suits, that you have 4 cards in an unbid major and tolerance for an unbid minor. What's tolerance? Tolerance is 3 cards. Remember, partner could have only 3 cards in a convenient minor that he opened, but if he has that holding, then the odds are good that he has 4 cards in your unbid major that you're showing. But if he doesn't, you may end out playing a 4-3 fit in the minor. That's not ideal. It's not what we look for. We look for 8 card fits. But if it happens, it happens. I had a partner once that said playing 4-3 fits builds character. Well, at this stage of my life, I've had enough of character building. I really don't much like playing 4-3 fits. but I've had to do it enough that I've gotten reasonably good at it. Certainly not perfect, but I'm better at it than I used to be. So now, let's look at this hand. Having said that, partner opens a diamond, right-hand opponent overcalls a heart, and you're sitting here with 4 reasonable spades, but you don't have tolerance for the unbid minor. But look what you have in diamonds. You have 4 cards in your partner's opened minor. That's why we call the first 2 uses of the negative double as showing 4 cards in any unbid major and either support for the unbid minor or for partner's minor. Number 1 use is showing 4 cards in an unbid major. Number 2 use is showing 4 cards in an unbid minor, or maybe even 5 cards. But we're not out to find that glorious 8-card minor suit fit, are we? We'd rather find the 4-4 major suit fit. So in this case, if you double and partner bids no trump, you can retreat to diamonds if you think that's better. If my partner responded 1 no trump, I'd probably leave him there. But if he doesn't, if he rebids his diamond suit, well, you're well positioned to pass that bid. Or you might even compete if the opponents keep bidding here. Because, you know, if partner rebids his diamonds, you know he has 6, or he should, unless his back is in a corner. You have 4 of them. If he has only 5, you still got 9 of them between you, and that's a totally reasonable trump suit. So, first 2 uses of the negative double. Double says I have at least 6 points, and I have 4 cards in any unbid major suit and any unbid minor suit. Or lacking 4 cards in the unbid minor, at least tolerance, 3 cards. Second use, double says I have at least 6 points. I have 4 cards in an unbid major, and I have, or if I don't have the unbid minor, I have support for the minor you open. One of those 2. That way you're able to use the negative double to show an unbid major regardless of which minor you hold. Now, here we have 4 cards in the unbid major, but I don't have the required number of cards in each minor. Well, what am I going to do? Let's take a look here. I have 10 high card points. Doubleton queen and the suit my partner opened, but 1 diamond, 1 heart, double, showing 4 spades. What if my partner rebids 2 clubs? I know he has longer diamonds than clubs, and his hand is unbalanced. If he had a balanced hand, he'd rebid 1 no trump, wouldn't he? So what am I going to do here? In this instance, I have enough points and I have a stopper. In fact, I may have 2 stoppers in the opponent's heart suit with this ace. So I can comfortably rebid 2 no trump if my partner doesn't have 4 spades with me. If he has an unbalanced hand with the minors, then we should be able to play no trump without any problem. We'll either play 2 no trump because he opened and I have 10 high card points, or if he has 14 or 15 or 16 in an unbalanced hand, we'll play 3 no trump. Depends on how many points he has in his hand. Now, much as I love the negative double, not every hand is suitable. Here you have enough points to use a negative double, but you only have 2 cards in the spade suit. If your partner says, oh, golly, look at this. My partner has 4 spades, I have 4 spades, and I have a really nice hand here. I have enough to jump to 3 spades. Then what are you going to do? And you can't blame partner for thinking you have 4 spades because that's what you promised when you used the negative double. In this case, your bid is 1 no trump. Notice 1 no trump does not promise a stop in the opponent's suit. It would be nice if you had one, but the 1 no trump response here just says, I don't have support for your suit, partner. I cannot bid at the 2 level, and I don't have 4 cards in the unbid major to show. A 1 no trump response is basically an I don't have catch-all bid. I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. Therefore, I bid 1 no trump. There just isn't a soft place to land for your partner if you use a negative double here. You must rebid 1 no or respond 1 no trump to your partner with this hand on this option. Yes, there's not really a heart stop, but that's not absolutely required here. It would be nice, but this is not a perfect world. Now, if using the double says I have 4 spades, if that's the unbid major, then when I bid 1 spade, that bid can be used to show 5 cards in the unbid major. So 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade now shows 5 spades by responder. How many times has opener thought to himself, gee, I wish I knew whether my partner had 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 spades. I have 3 of them over here. I don't have a hand suitable for a 1 no trump rebid, really. I'm 5, 4, 3, 1, and I only have 3 card support for my partner's major that he's bid here in spades. What to do? What to do? Well, in that instance, I take a deep breath, hold my nose, and raise to 2 spades, hoping my partner has 5 of them. I take that as the least of the evils. But here, if you play the negative double, you can tell your partner that you have 5 spades, because when you have 4 of them, you double. When you have 5 spades, you bid 1 spade. Notice that this is only possible with the spade suit. There's no way to show 5 hearts here on this kind of an auction. Now, like most situations, most people put a limit on how high they will use a convention. If you read Larry Cohen much online, he thinks that negative doubles should be used through infinity. In other words, he does not believe there should be a top limit on the use of the negative double. Of course, you have to have a better hand. If your partner opens a diamond and your right-hand opponent bids 4 hearts, you have to have a really nice hand to double showing 4 spades here, because you have to assume that your partner has a minimum opening hand. But those pesky preempts really are annoying. But he believes that the negative double should be used at any time, so long as responder's hand just is strong enough to justify the bid. My partners and I play them on through 5 diamonds, simply because we have pesky opponents who like to preempt at high levels, and I want to be able to use the negative double in the appropriate situations. But we have an agreement. If I use the negative double in that situation, my hand has the strength that is commensurate for that bid. The standard American yellow card, which you guys have all seen it at the club, I know it's the yellow piece of paper on the convention card table, says that through general consensus, negative doubles are on through 2 spades. And as I said, most pairs use a higher limit than that. A lot of them use 3 spades. I see no particular reason to stop at 3 spades. I hate being preempted out of a hand that belongs to me and my partner. If my partner opens a diamond and my right-hand opponent bids 4 spades and I have 4 hearts and a better than just game-going hand, I want to be able to double, to tell my partner that. So you and your partner need to talk about how high you would like for negative doubles to apply and what strength does the responder need to bid that high. Okay. Here's an example of what I was talking about. 1 diamond, 3 hearts. If you think this doesn't happen frequently, you haven't been at the table enough. The opponents will mess up your auction whatever way they can, as often as they can. So if you play negative doubles only through 2 spades here, what in the world are you going to do? If you and your partner have agreed to 2 spades, then you can't use the negative double here because we're long past 2 spades. I don't want a double for penalty. I don't really have a penalty double here. I'm assuming that my right-hand opponent has 7 hearts in his hand. I don't know yet. I mean, I have a pretty good hand here. My partner opened, so the hand probably belongs to us. I mean, if I have any kind of red blood running through my veins, I don't want to pass because I know the hand belongs to me and my partner. But if you have a low limit on your negative doubles, then you're stuck in this situation. Solve the problem. Just put a higher limit on your use of the negative double. Notice you have nice support for partner's diamonds if he doesn't have 4 spades. You can always retreat to diamonds if you need to. You're not really short in the opponent's suit. Typically, when one opponent has 7 cards in the suit, the most common distribution around the table is 7-2-2-2, and that looks like what it is here. It may be 7-3-2-1, but it looks like it'll be that 7-2-2-2 there from looking at that. This segues nicely into the topic that I was talking about before. How much strength does the negative doubler need? Well, he has to have enough to compete at the appropriate level. Well, what in the world does that mean? That means if partner has to bid your suit at the 2 level, that you have 6 or 8 points. You know, if it goes 1 diamond, 1 heart, double, 6 points is certainly enough. If the advancer bids 2 hearts and your partner bids 2 spades, you're still okay, because if he had opened a spade, if you had spade support and 6 points, you'd have bid 2 spades if this had been a common garden variety auction. So a simple 1 level negative double requires 6 points. Here's another example. 1 heart, 2 diamonds. Partner can bid at the 2 level if he has spades with you. Now, the problem is if he doesn't have spades with you and he has clubs instead, he has to go to the 3 level. Does that mean that responder's not going to use a negative double here if he doesn't have 10 points? Most of us are a little more optimistic than that. Well, we say, well, he could have 4 spades. He could, you know, if he doesn't and he has to bid clubs, well, if they can make 2 diamonds, then our 3 club bid is a good sacrifice if we don't make it. So most of us tend to be a little bit optimistic when we're thinking about that. So if you think about that logically, responder needs 6 to 9 points to compete at the 1 or 2 level. If you're going to force your partner to the 3 level, he needs 11-ish to the 2 no trump level, certainly. And once you get higher than 2 no trump, you really are getting close to that need for the 12 high card points to use it. Now, this bears my repeating another point here. A negative double has no ceiling on it. Your partner can be sitting over there with 20 points and still use a negative double at his first turn to bid in an attempt to find a 4-4 major suit fit. You could have slam. So try to get away from the attitude that your partner always has just 6 to 9 points when he uses a negative double. This would be a logical assumption from the beginning, but be aware that he could have more. If he has more, you'll know it soon enough because he'll tell you. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. 1 club, 1 spade. This is a nice hand here. Responder certainly has enough strength to bid at the 2 level. His problem is he doesn't have 5 hearts. He has only 4. So he uses the double to say, hey, partner, I have 4 hearts over here, or I have 5 hearts and I don't have the 10 points required to bid at the 2 level. It can be either one. Now, if your partner makes a minimum rebid, like 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, or 2 hearts, now responder raises the advance of the negative double to the 3 level to indicate that he has invitational strength. This is 12 points with a doubleton spade. I would even call that maybe a game forcing hand if you can find a fit. Obviously, you don't have a spade stop, so it would depend. No trump would depend on whether partner has a spade stop. But now, what if the right hand opponent had bid 2 spades? Well, weak jump overcalls are commonly used. And instead of bidding 1 spade showing at least 8 points and at least 5 spades, what if he bid 2 spades showing 5 to 10 points and a 6-card suit? You can still use the negative double with this hand. It is strong enough. This is an invitational level hand. So if your partner has to bid 3 hearts, it's okay. It's okay because you have a hand that can stand a 3-heart response. But if partner just rebids minimally, if he bids only 3 hearts, you need to pass. Because if he had game going values, he knows when you have forced him to the 3 level over a preempt that you have at least invitational strength. If he has enough for game, he'll bid it. Because in forcing him to the 3 level, you have shown your strength when you have an invitational level hand only. It's really important to be accurate in your bidding here so that you don't miss games or so that you don't overbid and go off when there's no reason to. Now then, what if you're holding that same hand and your right-hand opponent bids 3 spades? That's when it gets really, really tough. This is why opponents love to preempt so much. They love to make life hard on the opener and responder. If you use the negative double there, you have committed the partnership to the game level. If he bids hearts, you will have the 4-4 fit, but you have overbid just a little bit here. But you know right-hand opponent's hand is weak. Your partner opened and you have a hand worth 12 points. Some days you just have to take the bit in your mouth and make the bid. As you play more and get more experience, you find out that it works out enough of the time to make it worthwhile. If you always pass in situations like this and take your 100-point penalty for setting 3 spades, 2 tricks, well, that's all well and good, but if you had 4 hearts, that's not a good deal at all. You let the opponents bully you out of a hand that belonged to you and your partner. So are you going to be successful every time that you do that? No, but it's worth thinking about. Yeah, I'm technically overbidding when I use the negative double here, but there's a reasonable shot for this to work. Now, if your right-hand opponent jumps to 4 spades, then if you and your partner play negative doubles only through 4 hearts or 4 spades, then double here would be penalty. But if you're like I am and you play negative doubles through 5 diamonds, then I cannot penalize a 4 spade preempt here. That's what you give up when you play negative doubles at a very high level. So here's the summary of negative double auctions. 1 club, 1 diamond, special situation. 2 minor suits have been bid. Up the line, 1 club, 1 diamond double promises 4 hearts and 4 spades. When you have only 1 4-card major suit, you just bid it. Here is the next situation. 1 diamond, 2 clubs, double. This also is both minor suits. But notice we're at the 2 level here. Now when you double, it promises only 1 4-card major, but now responder needs to have 10 points, because if you and your partner don't match on the 4-card majors, you're either going to have to be prepared to play 2 no trump or 3 of partner's minor. This is one time where doubling a 2-level overcall negatively requires 10 points, because you may have to play 2 no trump or 3 of partner's minor, and you need to have 22 or 23 points between you. 1 of a minor, 1 heart, double by responder shows exactly 4 spades. Exactly. It also shows either support for partner's minor or tolerance for partner's minor, or tolerance for the unbid minor. So shows exactly 4 spades, exactly. And tolerance either for the unbid minor or for partner's minor. Now, if you bid 1 spade there, it shows 5 or more spades. So when you have 6 spades, you can bid 1 spade. Remember that if you were to jump to 2 spades, that would be a weak bid these days. If you and your partner have agreed to play strong jump shifts, when you bid 1 spade in this instance, you promise 5 or more. If you have 6 and you jump to 2 spades these days, that generally means, partner, I'm too weak to bid 1 spade. I have 2 to 5 points, and if we play the hand, we have to play it here. So if you have that kind of situation, make sure that you and your partner are on the same page. You still find a few pairs who play strong jump shifts by responder, but that is not the norm these days. Most people play weak jump shifts, so make sure you and your partner are on the same page as to what a jump to 2 spades would be in that bidding situation. Now, this brings us to the next important topic on negative doubles. How in the world does the opener rebid following a negative double? I told you that the rebids following the use of a convention are just as important as the convention, the bid itself. Basically, opener's rebid is based on the strength of his hand, and his rebids are similar to what he would do if responder had actually bid a suit. Now, with fewer than 4 cards in the major suit that responder showed, he can rebid his suit if he has 6 cards in it. If he has a stop in the opponent's suit, he can rebid no trump. Notice, when the opener rebids no trump, he promises a stopper. If the responder just bids 1 no trump because he doesn't have a hand suitable for a negative double, it does not promise a stop. Sometimes the bid of a no trump promises a stop, and sometimes it doesn't. Responder's catch-all no trump bid does not promise a stop, but the free choice of a 1 no trump rebid by opener should promise a stop, definitely. The opener can bid a new suit, and if he reverses, it still shows a strong hand. If he has a strong balanced hand that doesn't have a stopper in the opponent's suit, he can Q-bid the opponent's suit, asking his partner whether he has a stopper. This is a sophisticated bid. You may not be ready to do that yet, and that's fine, because if you're not familiar with Q-bids, it can be a little bit intimidating to be sitting at the table and have your partner bid the opponent's suit, and you have no idea what he wants. Or, as a last resort, if your partner has shown 4 spades, for instance, exactly, and you have only 3, you can raise with 3-card support if that's the only thing you can do. Notice this is a last resort. You should not get in the habit of raising partner's minor suit, or major suit, I'm sorry, particularly when he's used a negative double and you know he has only 4 with 3 cards. The raise of responder's major suit should promise 4 unless he has bid his major suit in an auction like 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade. Now we know he has 5, and you can raise with 3. But when he has only 4, raising your partner with only 3 card support is your option of last resort. Here's some examples. 1 diamond by West, and then North overcalls a heart. East doubles. This is the East hand here. Your partner opened a diamond. Look at this. We have 4 cards in the unbid major, and we have 5 card support in diamonds. It doesn't often get this good. South passes following the 1 heart overcall, and West now bids 1 spade. This shows a minimum opening hand with 4 card spade support because he bid at the minimum level. This is a 12-point hand over here with a singleton in it. I'm liable to bid 4 spades at my next turn to bid here with this hand. Here's another example. 1 diamond, 1 heart, double, pass. This time, partner bids 2 spades. I have an invitational level opening hand, partner. Means I have 17-ish. Well, look at this. With this hand, oh man, I'm seeing slam signals flashing all over the place. We have a fantastic double fit in diamonds and spades. My partner has anything in clubs, and if he's got 17 points, we know they're not in diamonds. They just about have to be in hearts and clubs. So I'm going to be doing some slam exploring with this hand because my partner has told me, notice he's described his hand very effectively. He has 4 card spade support, and he has a hand worth on average 17 points.
Excuse me, is this, were you showing the opener's hand or the responder's hand?
This is responder's hand. This is the East hand right here, the doubler's hand. Okay, same thing. A little bit different situation. What? Partner opens a diamond again, North bids a heart. You double. Notice you have a big hand here yourself, but you start with a negative double because you have only 4 spades. Notice, I'm not supporting diamonds when I have a 4 card major to show. I never, ever, 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 ever support partner's minor when I have a 4 card major suit to show. If I do that, the 4-4 major suit fit will be lost. 1 diamond, 1 heart, double, pass, 3 spades. This is the hand worth 18 or 19 points. Opposite my hand here, I'm going to bid 4 no trump immediately. Immediately. My partner opened a diamond, and he says he has 18 or 19 points. We may end up in 7 spades for all I know. We have an extremely powerful hand between the 2 of us. Here's another example. 1 diamond, 1 heart, double, pass, 4 spades. This says, I have a hand that is strong enough for us to play game, even if you have only the 6 points that you promised. Partner has a huge hand here. Now then, in this case, I believe this is the West hand right here. This is the West, and this one, I think this one probably is too, the West hand. I'm assuming it's the East hand. Patty, you may have been right. Let me look back here. This is the West hand. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. This is the West hand right here. Notice this is the hand that jumps 1 level. This is the hand that jumps 2 levels, and this is the hand that jumps all the way to game. Here's another example of a rebid. 1 club, 1 spade, double. I either have 5 hearts and I don't have 10 points, or I have at least 6 points and only 4 hearts. Pass, 1 no trump. This shows a spade stop. Lead's going to be coming up to his hand, so this king he may have 2 spade stops, in fact. It shows fewer than 4 hearts and 11 to 14 points. I'm assuming that some of you play with people who open 11-point hands. If you play a 15 to 17 no trump, this one no trump rebid shows 11 to 14. Here's a hand that jumps to 2 no trump. Notice 1 club, 1 spade, double. Oop, don't have 4 hearts with you, partner. I have 18 high card points though, too much to open 1 no trump. So now I jump to 2 no trump, showing this is the equivalent of 1 of a suit, 2 no trump. Shows the same thing, and it denies 4 hearts. 1 club, 1 spade, double, 2 clubs. He has a 6 card club suit, 4 card diamond suit, and not much in the majors. So he's not going to bid any number of hearts here. His best choice is to rebid 2 clubs because his hand is not strong enough to bid 2 diamonds. 2 diamonds would be a reverse here. Now then, he can also jump 1 club, 1 spade, double, 3 clubs. I have 16 to 18 points and at least 6 clubs. And finally, the hand that doesn't know what to do, has a strong hand, but doesn't have a stop in the opponent's suit. 1 diamond, 1 heart, double. I have 4 spades, partner. Pass, 2 hearts. This is asking for a heart stop. I have a strong hand over here, partner, but I don't have 4 cards in your major suit. I don't have a suit I can rebid, and I don't have a stop in the opponent's suit. This is the situation you find yourself in at the table a lot, because often you see textbook hands in lessons that are designed to illustrate only 1 point. But sometimes you don't get that kind of a hand. You get one of these. Wes does this hoping his partner can bid 2 no trump. But remember, a Q bid is a strange bid, and all strange bids are forcing. East absolutely must bid again here. It would be ugly if East passed here with 4 small hearts and this guy having 5 hearts in his hand over here. So hopefully his partner can do something useful like bid 2 no trump, or maybe he has diamond support. If he bids clubs, he'll like my clubs, but I only have 3 of them. So this covers basically, I'm not going to go through all of these right here because I want to cover the 3rd use of the negative double. If any of you work through these and have any questions, here's the auction. Here's your hand for each of these. There are 4 for this one, 4 for this one. If you can't figure one out, email me and I'll be happy to help you out. So let me find my next set of slides here. All right, now then, part 2. Here's a quick review of what I just talked about. 1 diamond, 1 club, 1 diamond double promises 4 in each major. 1 diamond, 2 clubs double promises only 1. But you have to have more points to use the negative double here than you do in this first situation. Now then, here is another use for the negative double. Sometimes you pick up a hand that would have opened a weak 2 bid, but your partner's the dealer and he opened in front of you. How am I going to convey that? A weak jump shift says 2 to 5 points. Well, I have 5 to 10 over here. When my partner's opened with a bid that makes it impossible for me to show my suit at the 2 level because it looks like a normal response. Say, for instance, if I have 6 hearts and my partner opens a spade, if I bid 2 hearts, I'm promising if you play 2 over 1, that's a game force. But if I have 6 points and 6 hearts and I bid 2 hearts in that situation, I've told my partner I have at least 10 points and 5 hearts. Well, I've overvalued my hand. I've overbid. So the hand that I'm talking about has 5 to about 9 points in it. Remember, if your hand is worth 11 points, you just bid the suit. And I'll show you some examples. I'm misaligned here. 1 club by North. East then bids 1 spade. And now here you sit. This is the 6-point hand. This looks like a wonderful 2 heart opening to me. But notice if I bid 2 hearts here, I'm telling my partner a great big fat one here. I don't have 10 points. Yes, I have 5 hearts, but I don't have 10 points. So I'm going to start with a double, just like I would if I had 5 hearts, but not enough points to bid them. My partner chooses 2 diamonds. He says, okay, I hear you. You have 4 hearts and 4 of the unbid minor. I pick diamonds because I don't have 4 hearts. Now you bid 2 hearts. Anytime your partner uses a negative double and does not pass opener's rebid or raise it, in other words, when he bids a new suit, it is to play. It shows a weak hand with a 6-card suit, one that would have opened a weak 2 in that suit if he'd had the chance. By to play, I mean opener is expected to pass. It says, I don't care what you have in hearts. If we play the hand, we need to play it here. This is the way you show a hand that would open a weak 2 hearts, but for your rude opponent here. In this instance, without the overcall by East, you would bid 1 heart, wouldn't you? You would not jump to 2 because 2 hearts shows 2 to 5 points, and you have more than that. 1 heart, whatever North rebids, then 2 hearts. Without interference, that says I have 6 to 9 points and a 6-card suit partner, put down the pass card. We're playing it here. Bidding and rebidding his suit is just about the weakest thing responder can do, short of raising opener's suit 1 level. Bidding and rebidding his suit is not strong. It is weak. It is 6 to 9 points with a 6-card suit. With interference, when you can't do that, use the negative double. The bid of the new suit says, I'd have opened a weak 2 heart bid if I could have, partner. I couldn't. So this is what I do to show you that hand. Please pass. Likewise, 1 diamond, 2 clubs, double, 2 hearts. Pass, 2 spades. I'd have opened 2 spades if I'd had the chance, partner. But if I bid 2 spades here in this auction, I'm promising at least 10 points and of course a 5-card suit. Well, I don't have a problem with the 5-card suit, but I don't have 10 points. So start with a negative double. If partner bids your suit, perfect. Perfect. But he won't. I mean, that's the way my life goes anyway. Your partner won't bid your suit. So then you bid your suit and he's supposed to pass.
Susan, why is that not forcing the 2 heart and 2 spade bid? Why are those not forcing?
Well, 2 hearts is my opener. Opener can't force there. And remember, this is not a reverse. It's a response to a negative double. And you're right. 2 spades under normal conditions would be forcing because it's a new suit. But this is part of the negative double convention. So it does not, it shows a weak hand with 6 cards. So by convention, this is not a forcing bid. It is to play.
Thank you.
It is just like the forcing 1 no trump. If you play 2 over 1, your partner opens a major, you bid 1 no trump forcing, 2 clubs by opener, 2 hearts says, I have 6 hearts. I don't have support for either one of your suits. Fold them up. Same kind of situation. It's a new suit by the responder, but he has made a bid that limited his hand. And by convention, with the 1 no trump forcing, that shows a hand that would have opened a weak 2 bid in that suit. Same thing here with the negative double. When you respond in a new suit, this is part of the convention. That's why it's not forcing. This is why it's so important to know all the aspects of the convention. This looks like it would be a forcing bid, but it's not. By using the negative double first and then bidding a new suit, he has said, I have no support for either one of your suits, partner. I have this one, and that's all. Okay, another example. Look at this hand. Of course, your partner opens one diamond. East overcalls a heart and you double. Partner thinks you have 4 spades. You don't, but you have the number 3 use here of the negative double. Pass 2 clubs. New suit at the cheapest level following the negative double. Shows 6 or more cards with a weak hand. This hand, you can take out the jack of clubs here and replace it with the 10, and this hand is still strong enough to bid this way. So 6 points are still all that is required here to do this. 1 diamond, 1 heart, double, 1 spade, 2 clubs. Please pass. I'd have opened, well, in this case, you won't open 2 clubs, would you? You'd open 3 clubs if you and your partner have agreed that a 3 club opening might show as few as 6. Now, the openers rebid again. If you have used number 3, the number 3 use of the negative double, opener doesn't take a rebid. He passes. He passes. So the rebid doesn't apply when you use the number 3 application of a negative double. In a nutshell, opener rebids at the cheapest level with a minimum opening hand, 13 to a poor quality 16. With an invitational hand, which would be a solid 16 up to a kind of a ragged 18, if there is such a thing, opener jumps a level. And when he has a maximum hand, that is one that was just short of a 2 club opening, he makes sure the partnership gets to game by bidding game when there is a fit. So 1 club, 1 spade by north, double by east, showing 4 hearts, pass 2 hearts. This is a minimum opening hand, so West rebids only 2 hearts. He's in effect raising his partner's 1 heart bid. He couldn't bid 1 heart though, because his pesky opponent stuck in a spade bid. And he doesn't have 5 hearts, and he has only 9 high card points. So he really can't bid at the 2 level. The negative double solves that problem for him. Here's a hand where the opener has an invitational level hand. 1 spade, 2 diamonds, double, saying I have either 4 hearts or I have 5 hearts with insufficient points to bid at the 2 level. Pass. 3 hearts. I have 4 hearts with you, partner. And I have a hand worth on average 17 points. What do you think? Well, in this case, if my partner has 17 points and I have 8 and a spade doubleton, I'm going to bid the game. See how important it is for the opener to describe his hand accurately, because responder is going to place the contract. If he places the contract accurately, he's got to have accurate information from the opener. So it becomes really important for the opener to describe his hand correctly by jumping when appropriate. 1 diamond, 1 heart, double again, pass 4 spades. I have a hand that should produce game, opposite only 6 points, partner. That's what you promise. So notice here, 3 spades is not forcing. West has to bid the game. He knows there's a game here. If he jumps to 3, showing 18 points, and partner has only 6, he can pass. Rebids at the 3 level are highly invitational, but they are not forcing. So once West knows that we have a game between us, it's up to him to bid it. Notice there are 3 losers in this hand, and that's all. Ace of trumps and 2 hearts. Everything else is covered. If he bids 3 spades with 7 points over here, East may or may not bid it. He may or may not. If you give your partner an opportunity to make a mistake, he will. So when you know that you have game, don't just invite. Make sure you bid the game. The one who knows goes, as the saying goes. So I think I probably, the rest of these are quizzes. So I'm not going to go through those because that takes a while and we only have 3 minutes left. Hi, this is Susan. Thanks for stopping by the Oklahoma Collective's YouTube channel. Basically, this channel shows recordings of our free 1-hour bridge lessons for advancing players that we offer every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. If you would like to join us, send your contact information to the email address shown on the screen, and we'll be happy to send you the link. If you would like to follow our channel and be notified when a new recording is uploaded, just click the Oklahoma Collective button below. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.